Welcome to City Skylines and the City of Portmont. Now I've got the game on pause because at the moment we've got a bit of a thunderstorm coming in and I don't want the distraction while I do this intro. Now I'm going to make a bit of an apology in the sense that this is most likely going to be a relatively short video for two reasons. The first one is simply practical. Is at the moment in the UK we're having a bit of a heat wave and they're forecasting temperatures that could possibly reach the mid-30s. And I know some of you guys live in very hot countries. That doesn't sound very much. Well, for here in the UK, it is very exceptional and we're not really set up for hot weather. So what I'm trying to do is get this video recorded and rendered before the heat comes in. Plus the fact is I've actually arranged to go and spend a good part of the day at a friend's house and they happen to own a swimming pool. So the idea is to stay cool by staying in the water. And secondly, if you look down in the bottom right, you'll see we've now reached a population of 79,593. And if I come into here, you will see we are very close to the 80,000, where we're going to unlock all 25 tiles. We'll have monuments, we will get the international airport and the cargo airport hub. And what I want to do is once we hit 80,000, that's good. I want to open up the map, and then I want to spend a little bit of time talking about and looking at how we're going to start growing this city, because even though we've reached 80,000 very easily, there's a lot of features on this map I want to explore. I just don't want to create a great big urban sprawl. So for example, we're going to be probably talking about some form of orbital highway around the center. We've got a rail line there, and there's another rail line over there which we want to bring in so that we can get some external connections. I mean, the airport we built in the last part, I think I'll unpause now just to show you, has been a lot more successful than I thought it was going to be. And at the moment, I'm keeping an eye on it because if you see here, the traffic is starting to get dangerously close to the highway. And at the moment, it just seems to be quite happy to stay about that distance. But, and it is a big but, if it starts to get too long, we're going to have to put another expansion loop out here. And I have to admit, I greatly underestimated the impact. You can see the aircraft coming in here, taking off. I mean, I'm going to feel like I'm going to need a second cargo port. And that actually had an immediate knock-on. And what actually happened is I built a road through here. And I built this residential area here off camera just to keep driving the population forward. Looks like the population is actually fallen against it. I think we're going to need to drop in a little bit more residential here. Oh, looks like the thunderstorm has started to kick in. I have to keep an eye on the power situation now.
Stay indoors until the storm has passed.
And I think we're just going to hook this out. Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on the power. I think we can sneak in a little bit more residential here. I'm just gonna I must admit, one of the disasters I really hate is thunderstorms, because most things like earthquakes and meteor strikes and things like that, you can actually tangibly see where things are hitting, where with thunderstorms it will hit the city and then it will take out power lines. And then you'll get power shortages. So we're just going to push this forward a little bit. I did develop this commercial area here, but it's not working as well as I was hoping it would. I'll just sneak in a little bit of commercial there, try and suck that up, because I definitely would like to get to 80,000 in this go. There we are. We've hit a power line break, and looks like we've got some flooding on the roads here as well. Yes, I know, we got power disconnect. Just gonna look there. Let's take that out. Just keep an eye on the city. Got some fires burning as well. Okay. These power lines are incredibly vulnerable. That through again. I think what I'm going to do is just for the purposes of this video, we're going to put a second line through there. And they've taken out this power line. Delete that. Now you know why I hate thunderstorms. Hopefully that should be over. Get that up and running. Okay, that's... Right, what I want to do now is grow. Okay. We're still renowned. My university's growing up very slowly. And eventually it will get to where it wants to get to. Whether that is. I just want to keep pushing this up here. We can get a bit more. And what will happen is once we get to 80,000, we will be reshaping the city a little bit. Just to push that growth forward to... I think we can just kind of curve around the top there. Take that in like that. That will give a little bit of flow down into here. I think the power should now have hooked through here. Yep. So we can probably take out. We don't need this power line now. Everything is hooked through really nicely. I think we could probably get a little bit of offices in here. That will suck up the industrial demand. We can just hook this through here. Okay, we're gonna that through like that as well. Put a little bit of commercial on that end there. Better get the grid back on. This, unfortunately, this is going to be the edge of the map, which is not exactly what I was hoping for. But well, I mean, I could use the 81 tile mod and actually open up everything a little bit more. But at the same time, I'm not particularly that enthusiastic about that, simply because there are limits to what we've done. I'm getting flooding here again. I think what we're going to do is try and deepen this river a little bit. Strengthen this up a little bit. I can deepen this a little bit. That should... I mean, it's going to distort the river, but for some reason we've got a truck running the road here. I don't really want to use a border here. What I want is just the water to flow underneath and down. I'm just going to widen that up a little bit. So we're actually losing population. Bring this power line down again. Hook this through. And I'm just going to tidy up this area here. Take that out. Always those tags will be a little bit misleading. Oh, so we've had a bit of a fire here. Now the other thing I do want to look at while we're trying to push up this population, if it will behave itself. Still getting the occasional little bit of a flash here. We may have to rebuild this in the future. Right. Okay, we got water shortage over here. That. Like that. I don't really want to. Whoops, we got another power break here. Is there any way I can? Yeah, we got a power line through there, so we don't actually need this power line now. So we can take these out. That tidies this area up. is there any way I can strengthen this power link here? Because we pushed out the residential here. I could see if that will. Okay, we want one more. Anything up here that we can put in? Maybe it's a time for a distinct building. That fit? That probably won't. I don't know. I suppose if you. Probably it's going to be the wrong way round, isn't it? I mean, if it was facing this way, overlooking the city, have you got any other features that cinema got here? Winter market. I'm not sure how the winter market gets into the view of things. Music club. Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that. Nothing here. Transport tower. That would look a little bit out of place, wouldn't it? And again, I suppose. Yeah. How about a courthouse as a symbol of? Yeah, why not? I mean, I will be rebuilding this area. Well, I mean, it does kind of fit up here. Slightly the wrong way round, but the population is dipping again. I think we're going to have to push the. Oops, I forgot to. In this area here. I'm just going to push out this way. My instinct is to push this road through because we've got a lot more potential here. And what I'm thinking in the long term is that we can have a resort over here. So we could bring through here, maybe on this tip here, assuming that we don't get any more earthquakes or anything. We can have a little bit of a tourist resort here on this spur here. I don't think we're gonna. Oh, we might go further south. So yeah, I think that will work. So let's just carry on developing this area here. I think we're going to focus on here. So we'll keep pushing this out like that. And we can come along the back here. The only problem with putting a resort here is the traffic coming through here. So we may have to isolate the resort and make it totally dependent on public transport. We could get a ferry system, you know, to here. I do want to try out the ferry system. Okay, we're up to 674. We got a little bit of demand here. I mean, we could cross the road here and get a bit more commercial into here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this road and just trying to think. We bring this up to, say, trying to think. I mean, this is a part of the map that will be finished. If we bring this road through like this, like that. I mean, there is a possibility we could bring a highway link in here. So we don't really need anything major. Actually, let's just trim off this here. Actually bring this back a little bit further as well. And if we can bring this road round, say like that. Okay, this is not gonna want to play. So pick up this road and then follow through here. Oh, so there we are. We've now reached 80,000. Actually, guys, right, we've now reached 80,000, so I don't really need to mess about this. I'm just going to delete this back again. And just leave that coming up there like that. Now, the first thing is we've got over nearly 8 million, so the first thing I want to do is we're going to unlock all the tiles. I'm just going to go through here. This is the main objective of this part. And this is something you do when you're playing on the 25 tile mod. As soon as you get to 80,000, just unlock everything. There's for two reasons. The first one is that turn around that way so we can unlock, is that it allows you to move around the map a lot easier because it will unlock your camera, but more importantly it allows you to see what, get an overview of what the city will look like. So that means we've now got expansion out to here, and I like this island here mainly for maybe our foul water outfall here. We've also got this little bit here. We've got a nice opportunity here for a coastal town coming into here, and I like that because you see here we've got a nice flat area here, so we could get a nice community built into here. Okay, what else? There's the resources. Yeah, I mean we got some forest here. I've got a feeling that we probably have a bit of a forest town over here. We've got some other resources here. Got a bit more resources out here over the back of here. We've got some oil up here. So we could expand this up into this area now to take advantage of that oil and all there. So we could have there's a possibility we could have an industrial town here. Let's just get back to normal mode. We could have an industrial town here that services these industries here. Although, to be honest, getting into the side of these mountains is going to be a little bit tricky. And we've got a nice flat area out here, which could be a good location for an international airport. All over here. And we got a little bit of trees here. Just have a quick look at the resource map again. Yeah, we got in fact we got even better resources here. Forestry. I actually like this better with a little bit of farmland. We could create a rural town out here and then feed that back into the city. We got a nice big patch of ore here. Oh, there's a lot of potential for this city. It's just we're going to now have to find a way. You can see the population has dropped below 80,000. The nice thing is that once you've unlocked something, it doesn't relock is probably the correct term. And the first thing I'm going to need to do is think about where we're going to put a linking highway through. So I'd be probably thinking coming off here, we could curve over the back of this settlement here, so we can have, and then feed the highway into the top of this area, because this area, if it's going to be industrial or quite a major settlement, actually could we make this into a resort town? Yeah, we could actually make this into a resort area here. Get some ferries working between this area here, so we could, I mean this isn't exactly that flat, but we could build a ferry terminal here, especially if we don't connect it by highway. Now that's a thought. We could do a bit of an experiment down here by having a town but with no actual road connections. So we'd have to put we'd have a road connection in, but it wouldn't really feed into this city. Anyway guys, I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself at the moment, so I'm going to need to think a little bit about what I need to do. And as I said at the beginning, I don't want this video to be too long. I think the first thing we're going to need to do is sort out the sanitation and the intake. My instinct is that we're going to take fresh water from one side, so we'll probably put the intakes up here somewhere, and then we'll carry on with the foul water. In fact, just to finish this video off, guys, I'm gonna pause, see if we can. I mean, how is the water situation at the moment? It's getting a bit low anyway, so this is the eco treatment plant, and of course now again the whole situation changes once you get to this level, because we're now building the permanent city. We're no longer putting down things and saying that I will be moving that later on. What we want to do now is try and get in. Then again, should I really be putting all my eggs in one basket? I think if we put in, say, we've got 4 left. So say if I put some there, I really like the idea of complete demarcation between freshwater intakes and sewage outfalls. Simply because, well, it's just psychological, I suppose. I mean, I'm not going to go complete. I think what we can do is just drop these 4 over here. That would give a little bit of separation. I mean, there is a chance of a tsunami coming in now. So I think if we put these here, like that, then we can just hook these up like that. And I think you can just come in like that, and of course we're going to have to run power. And what we're going to do now is just run the power along the edge of the map. Just going to run it just along the edge like this, and then as the city, as this will grow out, this will get in. Now we will be building in and around this area, so maybe we just need a, well, we need a pipeline first, don't we? So I'm just going to connect these up. Oops. I think what we're going to do is put a bit of earthquake protection in by coming. Actually, we'll put 440. I don't know if I'm going to use these pipelines, but I think it will be okay. And then what I'm going to do is just come out here. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to see things. And then, actually, what's the wind situation like here? I'd like to get rid of these wind turbines. Yeah, I think we can put, actually, what's the wind situation over here? Let's move the wind turbines. We've got a little bit of wind power over here as well. Do that. If we put the wind turbines on over here as well, that will put a little bit more resilience into. We can get an 8 there. I saw an 8. Yeah, that will put a bit more resilience should the power lines go down. In fact, we could probably run these purely on wind turbines, although that's going to be a little bit risky. I do want to move these away. I'm just going to move these. Try and get them a little bit more lined up. And of course this will mean that the noise factor will be... sorry, power lines. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. We got 1, 2, 3 over there. And just, right, this one's not. This one's only 6. So we're going to have to put a power line, wind turbine in there. Of course, wind turbines are the energy of the future. It's just nobody wants one next door to there where they live. And I have to admit, I actually know someone who lives close to a wind turbine, and you can actually hear them almost on a subconscious level. I don't know whether it's the fact that you know they're there and you imagine you're hearing them, or whether it's just a background noise that eventually you stop hearing them. It's a bit like living next to a highway. For a couple of years I actually lived, I wouldn't say next to a highway. I mean, the highway was about, say, 3/4 of a mile away from where I lived. But on really quiet days, and I have to admit, when I first moved in, I didn't even notice it as such, but on a really quiet day, you can hear this very distinct rumble, almost as a background noise. And it took me a little while to actually twig what this background noise was, and it was the highway. Just the sheer traffic going down the highway, and the rumble of the noise up from it. And I think that's exactly the same with wind turbines. That when I go to visit my friend, I can hear it, but he can't. I actually say to him, I said, well, how do you put up with that noise, that whoomp noise in the background? He says, what whoomp noise? He says, I don't hear anything. And it's quite strange, actually. Anyway, this is all a bit of a dog's dinner. I'm going to probably tidy this up later on. Now, of course, this is all fragmented, so we're going to have to... We've got a water intake here, which is good. I think we're just going to hook through like that. I'll sort this out, because what we can do is get a few more buildings in. We've got our outfalls here. We've got one intake here, which we could live with in the short term, because this will... Simply because this will be a little bit of redundant space here. So just have a quick look. Yeah, so we could put another water intake here. So we're just going to hook that up. That will also start to spread the power along here. It's going to start to... In fact, I think what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to put one more here. I'm just going to hook that pipe up. Not quite. I mean, we could get something here to increase the value of the property here. Okay. Standard fallback. Let's see what we got here. Actually, what? Why not? It's not too close. I mean, I know it's not in a really appropriate place, but I mean, I've seen people fishing or having a marina close to a port, so why not? Let's have a little bit of a port here. And I don't think it's that close to interfere with the shipping, and that just bridges through that power there. So then we can take out that one. And I'm just going to tidy up these a little bit, and I forgot to connect that up. I've just got that connected, and I think I can live with that water availability, because the city is going to grow quite dramatically coming up in the future. This is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I'm going to do is look at the map off camera, see where I need to map the inner ring road through, so that we can get the traffic moving round the city. Probably mark out some areas where I want to develop, what I want to build, but that's all going to be for the future. So until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.